Welcome everyone to the L7C podcast, Dragon Ball edition. Today we have a very special episode. The Dragon Ball expert doesn't even know what we're doing, as he's going to find out right on the fly. So first, let's introduce the Dragon Ball expert, Mr. Mitch Osso. How are you doing today, sir?
Well, not good, man. Don't know what the hell you got going on here. So you just throwing me for a curveball, but other than that, doing pretty good. So how about yourself?
I am doing well, man. This Sunday evening, kind of crazy that this is the second to last Sunday of March at the time of recording, and how we're already going to be 4 months into the year.
Isn't it crazy, man? Isn't it crazy? Time flies. But here we are, it'll be November and we'll be like, where did the year go? And then it'll
That
just
is
be it's just a constant cycle, bro.
that's true. That's true. So, what we are doing today, for people who have been listening to the L7C this month, you know that it has been L7C bracket month in the spirit of March Madness.
Mm.
We have done brackets at this time we're recording this. We've done new generation anime bracket. We've done UFC welterweight. We've done cringeworthy dating things. By the time this episode comes out, like MCU movies after Endgame brackets come out. So for the Dragon Ball expert, I decided that we are going to do a bracket and we're going to see what Mitch thinks is the best saga in Dragon Ball history.
Tough.
So Mitch
Freaking
has
tough.
not actually even seen the bracket at all, and it was all random generated as in terms of the seating. So Mitch is actually about to see it for the first time just now. So
Damn.
yeah,
That's friggin' there's way too many.
but
Freaking
this has Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball
no.
Z, Super, and the manga, and GT, and some of these I had to condense.
Well, thank
Um,
God.
Yeah, so like for example, the Piccolo saga that is in Dragon Ball that encompasses Tien Shinhanzo saga, King Piccolo, and Piccolo Jr.
You know.
So some of these are condensed. So we're not gonna even waste any time, Mitch. We're gonna get in, get your thoughts. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, ready as I'll ever be, yo.
All right, Mitch. The first round, the Shadow Dragon arc versus the Superhero arc. Which arc are you going with?
With superhero, you mean what everything that encompassed the superhero movie, correct?
Yes.
And all of this is personal preference, correct?
Yes, this is your personal preference. Who do you
Okay,
think?
no, Shadow Dragon, without a
Okay.
doubt, without
Okay.
without a doubt. Going back to things that we have mentioned, that the Shadow Dragons are little and they're iconic. The fact of wishes being held against you is just a perfect circle back around from the start of Dragon Ball all the way to the end of the franchise. So, yeah, just the superhero, while good, I mean, it was just kind of like a modern kind of rehashing of, the Android saga. So, I just, it's Shadow Dragons for me. You
Right, we're gonna keep on going. Universe 6 arc versus Granola the Survivor arc.
know, I'm picking Granola on that one. Like, I mean, aside from, from Hit. Frost was a douche, of course, but the fact that he's nowhere even close to like Frieza, and he's not even the strongest in his universe. I'm okay on that one. And then the other guys, I couldn't even tell you top of my head their names. Like I forget them. So, yep, Granola.
Golden Frieza arc versus the Super 17 arc.
The Return of Frieza or Super 17. I really don't like like I like ideas from each arc, but I really don't like either one.
Mhm.
They were just probably Golden Frieza, I would say.
It's actually kind of funny how both these arcs are kind of similar in a way that like villains returning from the dead. Like,
Mm-hmm.
shoot,
Yep.
Frieza was technically, well, Frieza and Cell were still in hell when they fought GT Goku, but like you saw all the villains. And you know what's funny too? Like, I believe the movie villains were in that too. Like, they showed some movie villains, like some filler ones, but it was
In
just
Super
fun.
17?
I think so, or am I thinking of? I do remember
No,
Fusion
or
Reborn. They have like they showed filler. I remember BoJack and them showing
yeah. Yeah, in Fusion Reborn they had, Gohan, as he was confronting Frieza,
up. Hmm.
and then you had all of the characters rushing Gohan. There were definitely movie characters within that scene itself before Gohan decimated Frieza there. I don't I don't recall movie villains in Super 17. I do remember though, like Nappa's return
Yeah, and got
when,
smoked again.
just it very bad, real bad.
So that was okay. Okay. Oof, one that we've, oh boy. The
Oh,
Emperor Pilaf saga. So the very beginning, basically, of Dragon Ball, literally the beginning until I have it up until the tournament.
yeah.
Verse the newest saga of Dragon Ball, the Daima saga.
Oh, this one's hard. This one's harder than what I would have anticipated because it's like how this was how Daima was starting off sort of mirrored like the feel of the beginning of Dragon Ball, which is the Emperor Pilaf arc.
Hmm.
Um, hmm, I'm gonna pick the Emperor Pilaf arc
Ooh.
only only because the ending for Daima as it stands now, as we have discussed on the previous episodes, was, in my opinion, rushed and botched.
Hmm.
If they had somewhat stuck the landing more than what they did, then I would have put Daima up there, like no problem. Again, Daima, I think everyone's excitement was just the fan service.
Yeah. So you're going the
But
beginning of Dragon Ball.
but I mean, I could say if that said Daima Saga episodes 1 through 16, I'm I'm probably picking Daima,
But since
but I'm going to pick Emperor Pilaf.
the Frieza saga versus the Galactic Patrol prisoner arc. So this is basically the entire Namek saga from when all of them to when they find out Goku's alive versus the Moro arc.
Nah, Frieza Saga. Frieza.
All right, those were the little play-ins. Now we go here. The Broly saga, so Dragon Ball Super Broly movie.
So the Broly
Basic
movie versus Shadow Dragons.
Yeah.
Shadow Dragon.
Okay.
Broly movie was fantastic. It's just again Shadow Dragon's just gonna run for a bit here, but it's I like the movie. The movie was great because even though the first Broly I enjoy more just the psychotic lunatic, just trying to destroy everything. His backstory is kind of silly in a way of like why he hates Goku. But and then modern day Broly movie is his backstory is legit. Um, I'm like I'm glad Broly is in it, and I can't wait to see him. Sometimes I wonder though, is like, did he really need to be a good guy? Like, but he'll make for a good protagonist. We need to see more of him, but when we're talking about the movie and Shadow Dragons, I'm picking Shadow Dragons.
The Red Ribbon Army saga is a whole Red Ribbon arc versus the Majin Buu saga.
I'm Red Ribbon.
Okay.
Red Ribbon. I know people love the Majin Buu arc. There were just some sort of some I don't want to say pacing issues, but I like the moment in which Goku went to Otherworld and before Gohan showed up at the scene. I was bored with Gotenks. Like just it was just not my cup of tea, Gotenks. But I have expressed my displeasure with, Go 10 and Trunks from that time frame. But no, the Red Ribbon arc, it had, you know, many, many moments that were iconic. And I'm trying to remember names because it's been so long since I watched Dragon Ball. But like
Like
when
General Blue. I mean,
the fight against the ninja,
hmm
my Sako or something,
hmm
I'm forgetting. Um, when um when what's his name? When
Yeah,
Tao,
Mercenary Town.
Mercenary Tao, when Tao came and the first time he fought Goku, Tao also killed the chief, right?
hmm
Yeah.
hmm
Um, and then just from there, when even Tao had the funny moments that for a dude, I saw this meme for a dude who had a power level of 40, he was doing some wild ass shit like defeating General Blue or Commander Blue, General Blue
hmm
with his tongue after Blue was using paralysis on like Goku. It's like
hmm
he just got rid of like the previous bad guy like without blinking. Whenever he broke the pillar off and then threw it in the direction of Goku so many kilometers away and then rode it like a surfboard. Those are iconic moments. But yeah, for a power level of 40, it was pretty wild, man.
Oof, the Baby Saga. First Granola the Survivor.
I want to show a lot of GT love here if I keep saying baby.
Yeah.
Okay, let me ask a thing about baby.
hmm
Is it from the moment we saw baby, or are we talking the beginning of GT all the way till like they fought
No,
General?
it's just Baby because that part is in the Black Star Dragon Ball arc.
Oh, um,
So it's basically, I think, when Baby starts taking over, like,
him. Oh, baby or granola?
so,
Um,
so obviously the elephant in the room, you get the debut of Super Saiyan 4. But
yep,
then Granola the Survivor, you get the debut of Ultra Ego
yep.
and True Ultra Instinct, I suppose. And
Well, I was even going to say, depending on, does granola also encompass gas and Black Freeze's reveal?
yes, that's the whole thing.
Shit. I'm going to choose baby
Oh,
because Super Saiyan 4's introduction way more iconic than Ultra Ego that didn't get the job done. And Ultra Instinct also didn't get the job done. And then for all of them just to go and get smoked by gas. And then the arrival of Frieza. Yeah, I'm gonna say baby.
all right.
Now
And
if Now, the one other thing though is that I'm picking baby now, but once the anime for Granola or Moro comes out and
mhm,
some things get fleshed out, or just we get to actually see the animations for these transformations and fights,
mhm.
Granola could easily push baby back
Okay,
as a whole. But
okay, okay.
I'm picking baby. Tuffles, Revenge, Sans.
I mean, it's the same thing. Granola, same thing. Revenge, Sans.
No, yep.
Kind of crazy how that's the same similar thing. Black Star Dragon Ball, or that's basically the beginning of GT.
I'm picking
Before,
Golden Frieza. We're just going to
yeah,
skip that one
yeah.
because like there's some pacing issues with those first like 15 episodes of GT before like we start getting close to baby. It's a little awkward, but
The Sand Saga versus Emperor Pilaf.
Saiyan Saga, it's just that's whenever then we learn that Goku's an alien, and that
Yes,
opens up the whole can of worms of what's out in outer space and whatnot. And
and he has a brother.
yep. And then, he has a brother. It explains Yozaru and and then, that's even is that when Goku learns? Yeah, Goku learns that he was the one who killed Grandpa Gohan during that
Yes.
saga. And then King Kai's training, you know,
Hmm.
all the iconic moments of that, learning the Spirit Ball or Spirit Bomb, Spirit Ball, gosh damn Yamcha. Learning Spirit Bomb and Kaioken, and then, Beam struggle with, Vegeta. Yeah, A tier,
Okay. So this is God of Destruction Beer. So this is basically the first movie, the first arc, first Future Trunks. Just for Mitch, that is the Goku Black arc. It's technically called the Future Trunks arc on the wiki, but it's Goku Black.
So Zamasu or God of Destruction Beerus? Zamasu. That's how I'll phrase it. Just Zamasu.
Yeah,
Just,
I mean,
just
most people, that's everyone. That's mostly who people say that's the best arc in, besides the ending, the best arc in Super.
you know.
Oh boy.
Oh
The
no.
Cell Saga again, random seeding. The Cell Saga versus the Frieza Saga.
Oh gosh. Oh no. Oh no. This is the thing is that no matter what I pick, I'm gonna piss somebody off. This is bad. Oh,
Two sagas that a lot of people say are some of the best, if not the best, depending on you asked. Saga, and remember, it's the whole Cell Saga, so it's the whole Android, or everything.
yeah, these two sagas alone are have produced some of the most iconic moments in anime history.
Hmm. Hmm.
And here I am, not even out of the gosh damn what seems to be the Sweet 16, having
Yes.
to pick potentially one of the two like
Hmm.
possible national champs. Gosh. Oh man. Man, there's gonna be some dead silence on this because I have to ponder this. So
Yeah,
like,
I
all
mean,
right,
just
so Frieza Saga. So
yep.
the general rundown. We get Gohan, Krill, and Bulma. They arrive.
Hmm.
They start collecting Dragon Balls. They realize how horrifying Frieza is. Vegeta arrives. He kills Pui. His first order of business. Dodoria, Zarbon, Ginyu Force, and then arrival of Goku. Now, well, even Nail is in there. Um, then Goku, then back to Ginyu, blah blah blah, body switcheroo, and then all the forms of Frieza, and then Super Saiyan. It's a Super Spirit Bomb. Okay. Now, now when we say Cell Saga, where's the beginning of that? Trunks' introduction.
Yeah, Mecha Frieza coming to Earth all the way
Oh my God, no.
until Krillin makes the wish pretty much. So they beat everyone. Yeah.
See the God. The thing that was nice about the Frieza saga, it felt like because we had a lot of time of focusing on, Gohan and like Krillin, you had a variety of people having a variety of moments.
Hmm.
That was not just Goku. And whenever, we get to the same or Cell saga, sure why everybody was there, and even Piccolo had his moment just like in the Namek saga. I'm like, I'm going to say Cell saga.
Okay. Okay.
I think when the Cell Saga came around, I was a little bit like older, like in the sense that like I feel like I do not know the years in which these came out, but let's say Frieza, Saiyan and Frieza came out whenever I was like 7 or something like that.
Hmm.
Then like those next couple of years of because I didn't see Dragon Ball whenever Z first came out.
Hmm.
I don't necessarily remember seeing like, the beginning of the Saiyan saga whenever I first came around. So I got caught maybe at the end of the Saiyan saga and then smack dab right into the Namek saga. So I was still learning a little bit as to, what was all going on and trying to piece together what had happened in the past.
Hmm.
But then by the time that Future Trunks and Cell came along, then it was like, okay, this ball is rolling, this shit, I get what's going on. So then I was able to absorb more of the magnitude of everything in the Cell saga. So
Hmm.
Trunks, showing up out of nowhere, being a Super Saiyan, finding out that the androids are not the androids that Trunks actually warned us about, then the emergence of Cell, Gohan. It was just, yeah, I'll pick the Cell saga.
Uh, the tournament. This is the Universal Survivor. So the Tournament of Power. First, the Piccolo Saga.
When you say Piccolo, you
So you
mean
get the Tournament TN1, and then you get the King Piccolo arc, and then you get the last tournament, the end of Dragon Ball with Piccolo, our Piccolo.
so from King Piccolo all the through
No,
Piccolo
from
Jr.
TN all the
Oh,
way to
oh, oh,
the.
oh, 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 TN, yeah,
Mhm,
episode 84 to
mhm.
153. God, man, those three sagas, I just looked that up. We're going, episodes 84 to 153.
Yeah,
Gosh, damn.
and the show. The
God. Holy shit.
hmm
This is the problem with Daima is that it should not have been 20 episodes. It should have been more because like TN's like section there goes from 84 to 101 in terms of episodes. We're talking about 17 episodes of TN during the Piccolo saga, but we got 20 damn episodes of Daima. Are you kidding me? It- It's we can't get this kind of shit anymore. But oh well. I'm gonna pick the Tournament of Power.
All right, all
There
right.
was some pretty wild shit in there. Now, granted, like Piccolo Saga, like we get the death of like
Krillin.
Krillin, Master Roshi, and then King Piccolo beating the piss out of Goku, and then he has to train again, and then um, the only way then he was able to beat him was by launching himself with a Kamehameha through his you know chest, and then Piccolo Jr. and because Piccolo Jr. arc that was actually you if you that kind of could have been fit in with how the
Hmm.
fighting style was. There was actually like I think there was a beam struggle in there. I think I recall. I can't remember, but you know, um, it was it was pretty spot on. It was just tournament of power. The stakes were astronomically high. I mean, even with Piccolo Saga, King Piccolo just wanted to take over the Earth. Like he didn't want to destroy it. I did remember that he actually killed Shenron there for a moment. So I mean, that was pretty insane. But we're talking about universal destruction here. People who have no idea what's going on in their respective universes are just getting wiped out just because 10 people on their team couldn't get the job done. And and you have a Behemoth and Jiren, you have, you know, uh, the showing of Ultra Instinct after Whis had, hinted at it uh probably 70 or 80 episodes before. And yeah, just and then to see Goku and Frieza, and we're talking about the anime more so. I know the manga um, had something similar, but anime's visualization of their teamwork to defeat Jiren was just it was just that is peak cinema. Everyone has those, Martin like Scorsese like
Hmm.
memes where it's peak cinema, but they impose like Goku's face on it. Yeah, that meme. That is peak cinema. So there you go.
Okay.
Universal survival.
The only thing I would have said for the Piccolo thing is that if you were watching it at that time, again, at that time, not hindsight, that was the highest stakes we had at the time. Because if
Yeah.
Piccolo would have beat Goku, they would have ruled the fact that like Piccolo. We talk about it, me, May 9th is Piccolo Day, whatever. And then the fact that, oh my God, they beat him. And then he comes back with the sun. And then we get Kami and
The
all of
only thing
that.
that we just, the only thing that I just counter is that while those were the stakes back then,
Mhm.
just everything now is in hindsight. It
Oh, yeah.
just like nothing compares to universes being completely wiped out compared to just okay, your protagonist died and now Piccolo's in charge.
Yeah.
Now, what Piccolo would have done is up for debate. Hell, maybe he would have just blasted the shit out of everyone, made a new Namek there, and then the demon realm would have just posted up on Earth.
And
And
then,
then that 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 sounds like the next entry in one of the Doom series, but
you know what else is, and then, the end of the Piccolo saga obviously ends with Goku and Chi-Chi getting married. So
you
that
know.
little thing, just on little stuffs
Oh,
there.
I mean, you didn't forget about that? I mean, Toriyama forgot about
No,
that.
I mean, I mean, Goku wore, I can tell you what Goku wore. He had a white suit on.
Yeah, he had a white
Like,
suit on, yep.
oh, Shadow Dragon versus the Red Ribbon Saga. We're gonna make it to the final. This is for a spot in the final four.
Shadow Dragon or Red Ribbon? Hmm. Shadow Dragon or Red Ribbon? See, there are some bad parts in the Shadow Dragon arc though, because those
Hmm.
first couple of dragons were absolute shit.
Hmm.
Like I'll be honest with you, like not good. You know, Red Ribbon was fun though. I'm gonna pick Red Ribbon
Okay.
because from start to finish, it was pretty good. Highs and lows, and just overall good. Baby,
I was
baby,
gonna say you want to talk about two people who hate Sans.
yeah, baby. Golden
Uh,
Frieza just there's a little more that could have been done with it, I think. But
Saiyan Saga versus Goku Black.
Sand Saga.
Cell Games versus the Tournament of Power.
Oh, Cell Games. I, I might have kind of for chat or mentioned it kind of prematurely what Cell Saga's going for. So
All right, now need to make this full screen because we're in the final four. The Red Ribbon Army Saga versus the Baby Saga.
Red Ribbon versus Baby. I'm going to say Red Ribbon again. Story's more fleshed out, I think, if I remember it correctly.
The Sand Saga versus
Sell,
these.
just sell, just sell, just sell. All with and that's the thing is, shout out to all the like other sagas that had to go up against Cell Saga. It's just not happening. It's like Frieza Saga, like that. I mean, I'd probably put Frieza Saga in front of a lot of the other ones that you had mentioned, but they just
Hmm.
collided so early in this tournament.
Hmm. Think of random brackets. That means in the final, it
Now,
is a battle of the androids.
I did not plan this, I promise you. And again, Martin surprised me at this, but the fact that Red Ribbon Army is one of the seeds and then the Cell Saga, like, I guess I was not anticipating that the Red Ribbon Army was going to dominate my picks, except for superhero, because that shit didn't get out there.
So yeah, you got Red Ribbon versus Cell, man. The android sagas. I mean, oof. Red Ribbon
Red
shoot
Ribbon Part 1 or Red Ribbon Part 2?
pretty much. Pretty much.
Well, just like with a lot of movies out there, while the first movie might be a masterpiece, or like video games, first one's like a masterpiece. It's really that first sequel that really takes everything and just makes it way better. So yeah, Cell Saga for me on this one.
Yeah. Oof. Was it close in your eyes?
Yeah, it was close, but it just that one is more clear for me which one that I would pick amongst the two. Now, if like the Frieza Saga was up there against Red Ribbon, I'm picking Frieza Saga over Red Ribbon, for example. Um, Maybe the Saiyan Saga over Red Ribbon, but like looking around real quick, um, Red Ribbon would probably stay up there, even over like Future Trunks's like Zamasu.
Hmm.
I'm probably picking Red Ribbon because while Zamasu was awesome and whatnot, that ending was botched as well. Like in the anime, it was just weird. You know, he just becomes a giant cloud in the sky and just kind of infects the universe, and then Zamasu has to come and just wipe him out. But in the manga, I thought the manga did it better because
Yeah.
after he got sliced in half, he just kept regenerating
Hmm.
into tons of clones, and then Goku called, you know,
So,
Zeno.
so for the L7C Dragon Ball Saga's bracket tournament, we had first place the Cell Games, second place the Red Ribbon Saga, then third Saiyan Saga and Baby Saga. Mitch, for every third place matchup, I always ask the person, so who would have won in the who would have been the official third place person for you? If the Saiyan Saga went against the Baby Saga, which one did you pick to win third place?
So from Raditz all the way until Vegeta left.
Hmm.
Um, Again, personally,
Hmm.
for me, Baby.
Okay. Okay. Nothing. Nothing wrong with that. That would have been the official third place one.
Now if you were to ask me if these questions were like trying to be like objective, like
Hmm.
what are the most iconic like sagas,
Hmm.
like just as objective as possible, then yeah, I'm picking obviously Sand Saga over Baby
Hmm.
and so on and so forth. So because some of my favorites then would not make this cut.
Fair enough. It's off what you think. What you so then if you were objective, like if
Now,
you were
you
just
know, you
completely
see it there.
objective, what would have been the top four
The top four sagas
if you're
all
objective?
together.
Hmm. I almost
Um,
threw in heroes, but I
wait,
didn't want.
wait.
I almost threw in their whole. They have sagas, but I just was like, after Hearts thing, it just went.
Hearts needs to be canon. I don't care what anybody says. If we got Demon Realm now, we need fucking Heart. Anyway, um, no, let me think. I'm just going to mention four, or
Hmm.
I'm just going to mention the ones that I would quickly think would be there. Sun Goku Saga, no. Um, uh, Red Ribbon. Damn, I can't even get through Dragon Ball because I'm thinking of some of these. I'm thinking some of these tournaments, man.
Hmm.
Um, okay, so. I think we can quickly just say that, the Saiyan, Frieza, and Cell Saga.
Hmm.
You just add those three in there. I don't think Majin Buu's in there. I don't think uh Beerus is in there. I'm not adding Daima. No. Xeno Saga, Universe 7, Superhero. Future Trunks, Tournament of Power. Okay. So I got five there.
Hmm.
And but I didn't mention anything from Dragon Ball.
Okay.
And I'll add the Piccolo Saga in there. I think if you ask like other people who have seen the entirety of the series, their objective. You got the three in Z, And then if I had to pick one of the four, either the Piccolo Saga or the Zamasu
Mhm.
Saga,
Yeah, okay.
I would think Piccolo. So I think the best times was from the end of Dragon Ball all the way through the end of the Cell Saga. I think those four would be my top four in terms of being objective and not favorites.
Mhm. Mitch, that's it. That is the Dragon Ball Saga's tournament for the month of March. Mitch, anything else you
What
want
do
to
you
say?
disagree or agree with? What surprised you?
Let me actually look. I
Yeah, start with round one. Anything in round one that was like, what?
No, not round one. No, I think the only thing that surprised me a little bit because you just said it with no hesitation was the baby versus granola one. Just because like of I don't Black Frieza, but then I know also how we were both so high on Elect because Elect seemed like he was really like that guy and then just got annihilated and then Ultra Ego losing, Ultra Instinct kept losing and that stuff. But that was the only one I felt like. And then that I was like, oh, that was quick. And then where was the other one at? That was yeah, that was really the only one.
Gotcha, gotcha.
Because I was like, where's Mora? But then Mora went against Frieza, so I was just like, okay. And then Future Trunks. And then Goku Black versus Sand one. I was just like, that one's a little, I mean, that one's but then again, the ending, I get it. A lot of the super arc endings, I felt like did them in your bracket.
Yeah, they did. It just, and that's the thing is that I'm trying to look back at all these, and I might have, you know, kind of. I'm fearful that a comment that I made as to why something else lost might have been the same kind of comment that could have been said about something that won. And it's
Hmm.
like, oh shit. Okay. This is my list, people.
Yeah, that's pretty much all you guys.
It's
I mean,
like that.
this is your. I mean, I think the right one won. Like that's the one I thought was gonna win.
You do make a point there that it seems like if the landing stuck, then I would have tended to forget like maybe some stuff that happened in the middle.
Yeah,
Because some people will look at GT and it doesn't matter what the hell they did in GT. It was just, botch, botch, botch. But
yeah,
like I thought Baby, ended good and the Shadow Dragons ended, you know, fantastically. Um, I didn't care much about Super 17,
yeah,
because that's definitely the weakest one.
yes.
But
So no, I think the right one won. Like I think Cell. I think just the Cell saga, the whole and that just changed everything because like you talked about with like the Sand Saga introducing Goku's an alien. Now we're introducing like super advanced androids, time travel, um, a Super Saiyan being defeated after we thought a Super Saiyan could never be defeated, and then them having to train multiple people being the strongest people in the show at the time, which we like. And then obviously the ending. No one expected the ending of Gohan being the one to end it all and becoming the first Super Saiyan 2.
yeah,
So like I just think you don't beat anything like that because again, like Goku died and then Goku saying, "Don't wish me back." So when you're watching it as a lens that you watched it as a kid on Toonami, you're like, "Oh, this is over. He's
yeah,
not coming back." Like, so no, I think that one, and I think if it was, if we were like the selection committee of March Madness and like actually like did seedings and actually talked about it, I think the Frieza Saga would have been in the final four. The Frieza Saga just went against the Cell Saga. It was like, hey, this is the national championship in round two.
yeah. It's that's exactly what it was.
So nothing wrong with it. So I liked it, but that is really it for this episode. Nice, short, sweet. Continue listening to the rest of the tournaments. I think after this one gets, I think this actually might be the last one you'll hear because I think all the other ones have been sent for editing. But thank you everyone for listening to the L7C podcast. Make sure you like, rate, comment, subscribe. Again, we'll be talking about Akira Toriyama next month, his birthday month. Obviously, we've hit the 1 year passing, 1 year anniversary of his passing. So we're going to talk about it in his birthday month in April. And then, yeah, you guys have a great day. And also, we'll be talking a little bit about McDonald's next month because that's crazy. Doing some
Eat shit
Dragon
at
Ball stuff.
McDonald's. Eat shit at McDonald's. There's your
Well,
preview for next episode, everyone.
with that being said, L7C Podcast signing out. Thank you for listening to this episode of the L7C Podcast. Be sure to like, rate, review, and subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all social media platforms, and we'll be talking to you guys soon. Take care.